Good morning and a very warm welcome from Newcastle International Airport. I'm Mark, your host of Plain Sailing Aviation. I've just spotted a police helicopter on the way out, so let's have that. So I hope everybody's well this morning, enjoying the start to the weekend. Very obliging of the police to turn out early for us. Obviously with the sad overnight news that Flybe are no longer trading, and they would have been our 8:05 arrival. I think it was an arrival rather than a departure. Belfast flight anyway. You've got a feel for the staff and those people whose travel plans have been dislocated. All seem to come out of nowhere, at least to the uninitiated. So I'll rest the camera on what will be our first outgoing action, the EasyJet flight to Belfast. So there we go. Apologies for being slightly later up than advertised. Unexpectedly, it's been a drizzly morning here. So jumping into the chat. Good morning, Janet Lowe. Yes, it's more drizzle than fog, Janet. Thanks for joining us. Great to have you with us. Ken Alloway, good morning to you, sir. Yeah, I'm in the pink. Hope you likewise. Peter E. Good morning, my friend. In and out of the stream as you've got the decorator in. Well, in and out is better than not at all. So grateful for the time that you do spend with us. Pleasure to have you with us. Yeah, Ken, it is sad news with Flybe, isn't it? This removes a little bit more diversity in terms of travel options and all the rest. I suppose the cold-hearted view is that's the nature of aviation. Airlines come and go, but it always feels a sad moment when they do go. So anyway, today's broadcast, we plan to be running till about 11:30. Those familiar with my chat will know that I've still got some hospital visits to do, so 11:30 is my curfew. Let's have a quick check and see what the Emirates triple is up to, because that normally comes in at 20 past. Anybody wondering what that is? It's the metro line that runs directly behind me. I've caught a break this morning. At the minute, Emirates due to come in at 11:07. I'll take that. Good morning, Nicholas. Welcome to Plain Sailing Aviation and our live stream chat from Newcastle International Airport. I've just spotted our police helicopter. He's sneaking back in. Little bit murky here today. I mean, that was one of the reasons why we were slightly late setting up. First time I've set up in drizzle, or heavy drizzle, and trying to keep all the electricals dry whilst getting them out the bag. Yeah, more challenging than I imagined. Still, all part of the learning cycle. Grateful if somebody could confirm in the chat what the sound's like, because obviously I had a little bit of a glitch on Thursday. I think I've sorted that. Sounds okay in my headphones, but you, the audience, are the judge. Yes, you're right, Ken, it is rare. I thought, you know how it goes when you're on a curfew. I thought it was bound to be running late. Thanks, Ken. I got to the bottom of the problem. It seemed that OBS, the streaming software that I use, had defaulted itself on a couple of settings, unbeknown to me. So everything's clicked into the right place. Hopefully it plays nice. So hopefully our EasyJet won't be too long. Let's have a quick butchers. According to flight radar, it's slated to go on time at 8:25. Just how we like it. So, decent range of movements this morning. I think it was 26 according to flight radar, but of course we'll lose the 2 flight B movements that were scheduled, sadly. Good morning, Gary Owen. Thanks for letting me know, mate. Bye, Jingo, Ken Alloway. I don't know what to say, mate. First time I've been super chatted. Very grateful to you, sir. That will be going into our overseas trip. So your money will be put to good work, my friend. I take my hat off. I'm touched. Right, I'll just cast my roving eye around the airport while we are waiting to see what happens. So I think people will have seen the communications that have gone out for tomorrow's live stream. We're back into Scotland, Edinburgh Airport, and that flight today will be an early start. So pretty much as soon as daylight will let us go. I've sort of advertised it for 8 o'clock, but if I can get going sooner, I will. Ken, you're too kind, mate. Although I think as the morning goes on, you inevitably find yourself fixated on hot beverages. Well, I think last time we were out, we sort of evolved to square sausages. That was still making me smile hours later. Things you don't know. Anyway, Edinburgh tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Those who've seen our show or other shows from there will know that it's a beautifully framed airport. Got the Pentland Hills in the background. What else is to note on that? Westerly winds expected, so that will be easterly arrivals, so we should get some good views. Hopefully we'll not be thwarted by any runway changes. In terms of here, talking weather, so today's forecast is a fairly temperate 5 degrees, which feels alright at the minute, to be honest. We have a westerly wind here as well, which means the planes will be arriving from the east, which will be runway 25, end of this single runway. So just for anybody new to Newcastle, over yonder there, that's where they'll be coming in from and coming towards us on takeoff. Let's just go back to our EasyJet. Don't want to miss him pushing back. So the good news is we have a Jet 2 flight pinging away. A Tenerife bound flight according to flight radar. So back to the weather forecast. Just realised I didn't complete what I intended to say. So using the power of props with the windsock. Not a very windy day at all here. So a steady 8 miles an hour according to the Met Office. 7 knots if you prefer it in knots. With gusts at a polite 16 miles per hour or 14 knots. And as you can see from the windsock, there's nothing much moving, not really. I can see an arrival on the far horizon, so we've got some incoming action. Fantastic. Which will be our KLM arrival, which was due in at 8:40. So good time being made by our Dutch friends. I've just completed that 1 hour flight from Amsterdam. Looks like I might have to sorry about those rustling sounds. That'd be me trying to keep the drizzle at bay. Sorry folks, I'm just trying to find a decent focus. On the upside, at least it's not fog. I've seen a couple of streamers recently who've arrived at their target airport and been wiped out by the fog. The heart just goes out to them. So our first incoming flight of the day. Well, if we discount our police helicopter. Good morning, Dopey Gorp. Welcome to the stream, mate. Great to have you with us, as always. And here's our Belfast-bound EasyJet flight on its way out. No, I don't think the forecast is for drizzle all morning, Ken. When I went to bed last night, there wasn't any drizzle forecast. Venom, welcome to the stream. Sorry folks, I think you may have lost me momentarily. Not quite sure what that was all about. Something I'll have to keep an eye on. So, I was just about to say good morning, Cyril Denham from Davao, if that's how you pronounce it, in the Philippines. What time is it there, Cyril? I'm always fascinated by what time it is elsewhere. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, Ken, as to what triggered that. Upload speed, I always test before I start, and was pretty strong. Whether it's dipped for a particular reason, or no particular reason, or whether it doesn't like this rotten drizzle. Just going to give things a bit of a wipe, actually. Eight hours ahead in the Philippines. What's the weather doing in Manchester, Dopey Gorp? You're going to tell me beaming sunshine, aren't you? Now I'm swatting away the drizzle. Good morning, Quickening Cat. Great to have you. How are you keeping? Good morning, Margaret McKenna. How are you this fine Saturday morning? Accent on the fine. So for anyone new to the show, that fairly unremarkable building in the background is where the fire station is. Sometimes we catch them doing the drill with big plumes of smoke bellowing out. You'll see the training fuselage to the right hand side of our baby bus, that rather dark rusty looking thing. Ben Purvis, good morning to you, sir. Over in Jersey, beautiful place. Welcome to the show. I'm Mark, your host with Plain Sailing Aviation. So for anyone just joining us, we are on air till 11:30 today, and then at Edinburgh tomorrow, 8 o'clock till around 12:30. Maybe it's 1 o'clock if it's a nice day. bit like here, the Emirates 777 is the star of the show. Tomorrow, I think the Qatari 787 Dreamliner, which comes in at 12:30, is one of the stars of the show. Sometimes they put the 350 on, so I'm hoping there'll be a change before tomorrow. Not that I've got anything against Dreamliners. As I say, folks, sorry if it's not quite the sharpest pictures. Still a bit drizzly. Well, I better check it's not the drizzle on my glasses. I can hear something making quite a bit of noise above my head. And away we go. Lovely spray. Looks like we have another arrival. Thanks, Dopey Corp. On the money as ever. British Airways A320. Can't get the focus, folks. Ah, there we go. Sorry about that. Yes, thanks Ken for the nudge. I've just appreciated. I haven't done the thing I'm supposed to do. So if you like what you see, please do support us with hitting the like. Costs you nothing. And of course, if you like what you see and you're not yet subscribed to us, please consider subscribing. We are a young, small channel, and all the support we can get is massively appreciated. There's nothing quite like being able to share the plane spotting experience. So in the background we have the Emirates control tower, all 45 metres of it. Good morning, John Peel. Welcome to the stream, mate. Great to have you back with us. So as always, or generally, she'll be making her way to terminal gate 3. Get my terminals and gates back to front. Another arrival on the horizon. There we go. An EasyJet Neo arriving from Geneva. Many thanks, doping up. Can't get closer than that for a minute. So I'm guessing a plane that is chock-a-block with returning skiers. I think the drizzle must be lifting a little bit more at the back end. Nicely done. Good morning, Political Bias. How you doing, mate? Great to have you back with us. Well, the good news is our Jet 2 Tenerife bound departure, due out at 8:45, is pushing back. I can see the top of the tail fin on the move. There you go. Everybody there set for a nice bit of 70-degree plus temperatures, hopefully. So as I was saying earlier in the show, until the unfortunate demise of Flybe, we have been expecting 26 movements during the course of the show, 2 of those being Flybe, leaves us with 24. So that would be 11 arrivals and 13 departures. According to Flight Radar, over the next 7 days, 220 departures from here to 37 airports in 17 different countries. So that's a little flavour of Newcastle International Airport. Obviously we're still very much in the winter season at the minute. I think we've got Sun Express and Aegean looking to run routes from here during the summer. So Newcastle, the 13th busiest airport in 2021. I don't think I've seen the 2022 data yet, but I can't imagine it would be massively dissimilar. Good morning, Mark of North Sky Aviation. How you doing, mate? Thanks for joining us. So a quick check at the screen. Apologies if Dopey Gorp's already called this. We have a Ryanair Dublin arrival, imminent, just coming over the North Sea, and I can see the lights, so we'll move to that in a second. So still a bit murky here, but improving. It's very much still a UFO at the minute. That will give me time to have a quick look into the chat. I'm very well, thank you, Mark. I think the weather gods have been fairly kind. The drizzle here has gone, and with the 5 degrees centigrade on offer, I'll take that. And at 10 o'clock to my current position, I can see our Jet 2 looking like he's about to start moving. Some nice vapor trails. should get a nice crossover between this Ryanair and the Jet2 737 heading in the opposite direction. There you go. So does anybody in the chat have any view in terms of what may have gone wrong at Flybe? I've not used them myself since the pandemic. I think the last time I flew with them was to Southampton. But whether they're out attracting the passenger numbers or the right routes, or whether their tickets are too expensive. Thank you, Dopey Gorp. If that's a good prompt, let's go and pick that flight up. They must be just about at the far end of the airfield. There they are. Looks like it's drizzling on the far side of the airfield. As it is just started to do here now again. Blow me. Perils of outside broadcast, I'm thinking. Sorry folks, I'm just moving a couple of bits quickly. It's suddenly picked up. I'm just going to try and adjust the setup, try to make us a bit more wet weather resilient. It's a bit like Formula One this, you're not quite sure which setup to run. Okay, so we might be a bit more muffled. Luckily there's no action at this exact minute. Just looking in the chat, Cyril Denham. I don't think I've heard of Cebu Pacific. It's an interesting one. Ken talks about the hedge fund owners deciding to pull the plug. Why? It's an interesting question, isn't it? I just wonder if they were pulling the passenger numbers or able to operate at sufficient margin. Morning, Alistair Blackley. Too early. I have some sympathy with the notion, mate. Good to know you've got some tea on the go. That's the way to do it. We've just hit a bit of a hiatus in play at the minute. I don't think, Ken, I've seen the BKK one. I do dipping out of Sid. Quite enjoy Sid. Morning everybody. I thought I'd pop myself in front of camera just to check actually that the lens isn't getting too wet, but we've got a slight hiatus in play. He says checking over his shoulder. That paranoia that something will turn up behind me that I'll be unaware of. So is there anything anybody wants to ask about plain sailing aviation? What we're doing next and all that kind of malarkey? Anything and anything? I was reflecting myself actually. One of the questions I was going to post to the chat later, but now seems a good spot, is, you know, people's earliest aviation experience. When did you take your first flight? Who was it with? Where did you go? That kind of thing. As much as I've enjoyed watching planes since I was knee high, I never actually flew till I was around 18. My first holiday being Thompson's and Britannia Airways from East Midlands to Tenerife. A Boeing 737. So I was a bit of a late starter, I guess, in that sense. Thank you, Janet. It's always nice to put my face to the camera. Complete with new haircut today. I think somebody was kindly pointing out accurately about my two-tone hair colouring. Bit too much grey in there, so took myself off to the barbers to try and get something done about reducing it. I don't think I'll get away with dyeing it, it'd be too obvious. How far away from the gates? I suppose as the crow flies quickening cats, I'm going to say about 300 yards, 350 yards. Sorry, I've just moved out of shot. That will be a bit of a drizzle infused guess, but yeah, not far. Certainly the gates on this side. There's gates around the far side, of course, as well. And as Mark at North Sky says, actually, if I was to jump in the car from here, I would be there in a couple of minutes flat. Lucas Gallant, if I've pronounced your name correctly, welcome to the show. I'm Mark, your host of Plain Sailing Aviation. So, as you will have expected, you find yourself at Newcastle International Airport. Bit of a drizzly day. We've got a slight pause in traffic, which has given me a breather in terms of the wet weather setup, because I've only come out with some protection, but I was fearful for a minute it was going to start getting heavy. Yes, Ken, salt and pepper's the way to go, mate. I've not quite got the Jose Mourinho thing going on, but I can do salt and pepper. Right, I think I might be at a point to be able to set the bags back off again, so I'll swap myself around. See you shortly. This drizzle's a proper... Just when you think it's going, and you can feel the sun trying to poke through. Out it comes. So in terms of next action, let's zoom ourselves back in. This looks like our next outgoer. Still pinging on right flight radar. So in terms of next departures, we've got a couple that are slated for 9:10, so 10 minutes away or thereabouts, and KLM shortly behind that. Just appreciated I've not put my headphones back on. Thank you, quickening cap. Very pleased with the mic. We bought a shotgun just before the launch at Heathrow a few weeks back, and its quality has been worth the money. Good morning, Paul Usher. How are you, mate? Welcome to the stream. Next action should be in the next 8 minutes or so. Cyril Denham, good morning to you, sir. So you were Spanair to Tenerife as your first memory. I remember Spanair. I'm sure I'm not alone with that one. When was that, my friend? That was 1986 for me. And looking at Ken, first flight as a student was Heathrow to Paris-Orly. And then a connection to Bastia, Corsica, 1978. Where have the years gone, folks? I was probably standing in my grandparents' back garden, binoculars glued to my eyes as they often were. Probably saw you waving at me from the seat. So I think what I'll do, apologies to those who've seen it before, I'm just going to give a quick cant around the airfield. I always think for first time visitors to Newcastle it's quite useful. So Quickening Cat asked earlier about the main terminal building, which is what you've got a chunk of on the lens at the minute. As Mark from North Sky was saying, it's a couple of minutes from where I'm standing by car, and I'd guess at about 350 metres, maybe it's a bit more. Probably the hedges causing me to overestimate or underestimate, should I say. So, going to quick look round some of the gates. So we've got British Airways at its usual gate 3. Number of empty bays at the minute. EasyJet A320 stands where the Emirates 777 normally parks up, where you've got the air bridge to the left. And then as we work our way along, we get to the control tower, sponsored by Emirates. It's hard to see the logo here, but if I zoom you up, it does rather make me smile with the Saudis now the owners of Newcastle United Football Club, the religion in this part of the world. I know there's some people who might disagree in Sunderland, but I think, you know, Newcastle is the big game in town. So the Saudis sponsor the club, but Emirates have got their branding on the airport. So I think I said earlier, 45 metres there. 7 or 8 million quid, can't quite remember which. Opened around 2007. Zooming on around, the fire station. single runway here. So the end you're looking at there is 025. So basically easterly arrivals, prevailing wind as it usually is here, westerly. The runway itself is, I haven't quite got the number straight in my head, but around 2,300 and something metres. Behind that hedge you'll see the truck racing along. There is the option to extend for a further 700 metres, which is part of the airport's long-term potential development plans. And then we come to a little freight park, the Newcastle Aviation Academy. The business jet terminal is behind there. The Aviation Academy, train cabin crew, ground ops, that kind of thing. Aeronautical engineering. And I think that's all that's going to be on visual show. It is, so there's the usual quick canter. The police have their helicopter station there, so viewers that were on the show earlier will have seen a quick police flight. Veterans of the show will also know that we are blessed with a flying school here, North East Aviation, and we will have our World of Sport moment hopefully with a procession of small light aircraft doing circuits. So Quickening Cat, is New Zealand's #1 religious sport, is that rugby? I always think your cricketers always punch well above their weights, if I can say that respectfully. Yes, Cyril, we were saying earlier on in the show how it sort of came out of nowhere, really. Sad day for aviation, both for the people who fly the planes and the people who are hoping to travel in the next few days with Flybe. It's a real shame. Rugby it is, yes, I figured it would be. I'm sure I've seen a special livery, probably Air New Zealand I'm thinking, with the All Blacks on the side. Not dreamt that yet, never. Kenham political, yes, it is terrible. Where are all the local pilots? Let's see what's happening on the ground. So our EasyJet that we're looking at the minute is pinging. You can see a Logan Air making his way up, just ish parallel with Sunderland, but not stopping here. That's the Manchester to Aberdeen. Can't get the camera on that, too much cloud. But the good news is the drizzle has gone. Yes, Mark at North Sky. That was one of the things I was looking to do actually when we launched the other week. Thinking it'd be quite nice to go out with Flybe all back and do the other leg with BA. Just couldn't make the times work. As I remember, there wasn't a big deal in price differential, but obviously if you're going to go to the trouble of travel to film, you want the longest filming window that you can have. Thanks, Ken, I've not dreamt it then. Yeah, that's probably where I've seen it. Airline videos or LA flights, one of their streams. I'm just looking back up the chat. Concert AFC, Mark. Is that a religious undertaking? Just working my way back up. Audrey McDonald. Sorry I'd not spotted you joining the chat. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you've missed the drizzle. It wasn't adding anything. We've just got one of those pesky pauses in play. I've got to be honest, Mark, at North Sky, I have similar views as well about local football. Sorry Lucas, I just missed your question. This EasyJet is supposed to go out at 20 to 10. Looking into the chat, Audrey, first flight was on a Dakota from Newcastle to Dusseldorf, 1958. Mega. Was that non-stop? Did not realise, Mark, you've been at the FA Vars final. Cool. I bet that was a memorable day out. Dopey Gore, let's have a look. Stalybridge Celtic. You can't whack it, can you? Friends and a few drinks. Just looking at Audrey's comment, not the non-stop bit, but the sheds with the farmer's gate as an entrance. But there's a question, Ken, is a Dakota a DC-3? Sure, if I'm honest. I have it in the back of my head that the first commercial flight from Edinburgh was a Dakota, but that's probably not. Let's have a look. Well, the good news is we have some motion. I can see our Ryanair flight that's going to be returning to Dublin, pushing back. I'll pick up my further investigation of this DC-3 in a minute. It's always good to have something interesting to think about. I've just driven past him. Mr. Magoo. Oh, so that was a proper local derby then, Mark. Oh, I can see a Jet 2 scooting as well. Let's go to that. Hopefully you're all keeping liquefied with tea and coffee, fortified even. I'll have to get better at signposting the anticipated breaks so you can get the kettle on. So we have a classic liveried Jet 2, Boeing 737-8MG, on its way to Salzburg. Another payload of skiers, I would imagine. You know, I'm going to take us on to some different aviation action. Look at that. I'm not sure where the bird patrol is today. These have been buzzing around all morning. It's like Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Anyway, back to why we're here. And there's somebody else starting up over the back. And Ryanair are just turning. So if you've recently joined us, welcome to Plain Sailing Aviation's live stream at Newcastle International Airport. I'm Mark, your host. As always, if you like what you see, please do hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does help the channel massively in terms of profile. And of course, if you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. Of course, if you are already subscribed, thank you. We'd be nowhere without our subscribers. I think this plane is going to have to give way to the Ryanair Dublin departure that's scooted past. There we go. I'll start bringing my scanner to future shows so I can have a better idea what is exactly happening. I think when I first started live streaming, I just didn't want too many moving parts. No, the Jet 2 is going first. He had pulled up well short. And away we go. No ceremony. Plenty of spray for us. And next in the blocks we have our Ryanair 737 departure to Dublin. Little over 40 minutes. So, looking across the terminal, as our Ryanair departure starts moving, I can see KLM and their 737 are on the way out. So we've got some nice continuity of action. And let's catch up with the fastest taxiers in the West. Getting a wriggle on as they always do. So this is a returning flight to Amsterdam. Be about 1 hour in duration. I've just spotted that we seem to be disconnected from the chat. I'll have a look at that as soon as this plane goes. Looks like a YouTube gremlin, so sorry folks. And the British Airways return flight to Heathrow. That is also taxiing out. So yeah, please bear with me. I will try and get the chat reinstated. Probably just have to try refreshing the stream. And away we go. Yes, I think that must have been a YouTube gremlin. Rather than anything, I'm not switching at this end. For once. Oh, thank you, Mark. 1,500 subs. Major milestone passed. So thank you all those who are subscribed, new or established. So for anyone that's just joined the stream, we're out again tomorrow. Another early start at Edinburgh. Good range of movements on offer, fantastic scenery, what's not to like? So we'd love to have you with us. We also have a couple of overseas trips which I spoke about on the last stream. More details to follow, but they're both planned for February. Don't want to say too much yet until I've got the finer details tidied up. Now I've got my compact travel tripod. I can pretty much get the whole show in a walk-on suitcase. Thank you, Quickening Cat. I'm not particularly fixated on numbers per se, but milestones is milestones, as I say. And of course, the way YouTube works, you do need to build profile. So thank you everybody for making that possible. Do you know, they must have given the Bird Patrol chap the day off today. I don't know if it's a squadron of starlings up there or whatever they are, but they are constantly rotating around the airport. Good morning, Mikey C. Sorry, I'm not concentrating on the camera now. No, I didn't know about the BA divert to Manchester. As Ken says, at least everything worked out okay. Yes, as Ken says, all the subs and likes help build YouTube profile, which, as anybody that's ever started up a channel will tell you, is an engaging but torturous process. So this will be a nice and steady 1 hour flight or thereabouts back to London. And away we go. Okay. Now this EasyJet flight returning back to Geneva, due out I think around 22:10. Just catching up with a chat, so fumes on board the BA divert to Manchester. Terrifying. Right, let's see what's happening at the front door. I think we're about ready to start the show moving, which will be welcome. So our next incomer is a Ryanair 737 on its way in from Barcelona. So that should be with us around 5 to 10, give or take. And that will be followed very closely. Oh, my screen's just gone blank on me. By Lufthansa's CRJ 900 LR, which is hot-footing its way in from Frankfurt, a mecca for plane spotting. Good morning, Carl Shield. So it's cold in Dublin, is it? It's not too bad at Newcastle International, just been a bit drizzly, but that seems to have passed. Well, that's interesting, Ken. I wonder what's taken that path. By the way, do keep us posted if you get anything unusual during the show. Crikey folks, I've just noticed we're up to 80 likes. So many thanks everybody that's hit that like button. If you haven't yet, but you do like what you're seeing, please do hit it. Doesn't cost you anything, but helps boost the channel. In the meantime, I'll see if we can conjure up a spot of action at this end. So the EasyJet you're looking at the minute is on its way back to Geneva. Probably another cargo of lucky skiers. And incoming we have a Ryanair from Barcelona and a CRJ 900 LR Lufthansa from Frankfurt. I can't believe it. I mentioned earlier that the drizzle seemed to have gone. Looking over the far side, it looks like it's making a comeback. It'll be interesting, Carl Shield, in terms of how Flybe is administered. I think they've got some Heathrow slots, if I remember correctly. I'm not quite sure what their position is in terms of aircraft leasing and so forth. But we've got a bit of helicopter action, folks. Not sure whose. It's not a police one. At least I don't think it is. Yes, I think we're back to being murky again as our EasyJet pushes back. Just excuse me, I'm reaching for my kitchen towel. such is the level of drizzle. As I say, water and electricity do not mix. I seem to be toying with the parameters of that. But I can tell you, Carl, Dublin is certainly on our radar. Would you believe it? Well, if you're looking to be drizzled on, Newcastle International Airport is as good a place as any. I think you're right, political bias, it's definitely creeping in. Hopefully it will show a little bit of mercy. Just had a quick look over my shoulder. It's hard to tell. Sorry folks, I was just readjusting things. Well, that's good news, Mark, because in my rough geography I think Concept might be to the southwest of Newcastle Airport. I'm always up for the message, there's sunnier times ahead. Sorry for the meantime you've got some murk on, it really does look murky at the back end. Just going to take a chance on this, take the bags off. So the weather 15 miles away is better than this, so the wind's bringing it this way, so stay with us folks. Although I do apologise for the lack of clarity. At least we'll get some decent spray. Now there's a pea super. So he will be giving away to the getting my words back to front, to the Ryanair Boeing 737, hot footing its way in from Barcelona. I do not have visual, but I will point the camera and let's just see what comes out of the gloom. Oh, just looking at Quitting Cat's comment. Flight radar says the KLM is diverting back to Amsterdam. Whoa. Oh, I can see some lights. Look at that. Pure UFO. Could even be a car driving through the fog, couldn't it? Yeah, sorry folks, I can't get you in any closer than that. Sorry folks, I just realised I lost you. Not sure if that's water or just good old YouTube. Can't believe it, while I was resetting I'd missed our EasyJet departure, or nearly. To be fair, it was right in the mist. Okay, back to terra firma. I think I'll pop us onto the incoming Ryanair. Let's see what's happening in the chat. So it seems the drizzle is easing, which is incredibly welcome. And our Lufthansa CRJ900 LR is on finals now. So let's get the camera trained where it needs to be. So bearing down on 100 likes, folks. Fantastic. So if you do like what you see and you've yet to hit it, please, as I say, smash that like button. In the meantime, I'm awaiting to see our Lufthansa arrival from Frankfurt. Paranoid by the notion that it'll just pop out the gloom and I'll miss it, but I've just got visual. See if I can bring you onto it. Look at that. Sorry folks, a bit suboptimal, but that's just the atmospheric conditions here, this incessant drizzle. So, classic Lufthansa. As folks probably know, I've a bit of a livery fetish kind of chap. And I love the classic and I like the contemporary. I think Lufthansa have got a double handful there in terms of good liveries. I'm not so fussed with the Lufthansa regional livery. Sorry folks, just having to wipe down again. You're right, Audrey, it really has. Sort of trapped between drizzle and fog. Good morning, Kevin Payne. Thanks for joining the stream, my friend. So Kevin, where's Crook relative to the airport? We're just trying to get a feel for where the weather's, well, what the weather's going to be doing here in 10 minutes. If you're wondering what that rustling is, folks, that's just me just popping a bag over. I don't really want to keep a bag properly installed because it will muffle the sound. Oh, I can see a fire truck on the move. So, where are we? There we go. Fire truck number 4. I think I was saying on a previous stream, I think they have a total of 4 tenders here. Certainly I counted 4 when I passed the fire station on my way out, on the way down to Heathrow. Let's see. Morning, Les Donaldson. How are you, mate? This was always going to be a new challenge for me. I've been fairly lucky so far, weather-wise, with streams. And obviously the more experienced streamers have been out there in all kinds of weather. Gives you a bit of insight into what you need to do to better protect your kit. Oh, nothing much is moving there. So welcome if you've just joined us. As you might have expected when you click the link, you are at Newcastle International Airport. A little bit of a break in play at the minute. So at the minute you're looking at one of the fire tenders. Looks like a routine training activity. And we're now just going to focus in on the standing incoming Frankfurt flight while we wait for something else to zoom into view. It's a very drizzly day, around 5 degrees or thereabouts. If it wasn't for the drizzle, it'd be fairly pleasant. Gentle wind. Of the westerly persuasion, so that's why we are operating runway 25 arrivals from the east, coming in over the North Sea. So earlier in the show we were talking about first aviation experience. First plane, first airline, first destination, when? So your thoughts on that in the chat? I think, although my memory may be playing a trick on me, we'll be struggling to beat Audrey McDonald's DC-3 to Dusseldorf. That does sound iconic. Thank you, Mark at North Sky. Next arrival should be a Logan Air from Southampton in about 25 minutes. In terms of departure activity, Ryanair should be on their way back out at 10:20. Their Boeing 737 on its way back to Barcelona. Looking further on into the show, Emirates is our big... oh, hang on. Bit of action, folks. I think it might be our returning helicopter. Yes, the heavyweight star of the show, the Emirates 737. Time to be in at 11:20. Last I looked was running early, around 11:10. But let's have a quick look round and see how things are looking with Ryanair. Well, that looks more like deboarding than boarding. Just looking in the chat, Les, 50 mile an hour gusts at Edinburgh. What time-ish are the 50-mile-an-hour gusts coming? I should be there from about 8 till 1. Well, 12:30, possibly stretching it till 1. Yeah, that should make some good action. Thanks, Ken, for confirming the DC-3 is the Dakota. Oh, that's if it's the DC-3 is the Dakota, right. Mark at North Sky, I'm not sure. Helicopters are not really my forte. I think it is a Bell. Whether it's a Jet Ranger or not, I'd be conjecturing, mate. So we're about 10 minutes away from our next outgoing, officially. What is definitely in order now is a bit of Dickie Davis tiddler action. Let's see what's happening at the back of the bus. So Ken's updated us on the triple during 57 minutes, so still running early. And Les Donaldson, thanks Les, a Robinson R44. That was the chopper that just came in. So my punt that it was a Bell was wide of the mark. Like my friend at North Sky, I'm not really much of an expert on helicopters. Although when we take the live stream action to Aberdeen during May or June, depending on where we fit things in, I'm sure we'll get to be better at helicopters. So do look out for that one. Just can't wait till we get the warmer weather and the daylight. Quickening Cat, we'll do what we can. Looking at Mark's note from North Sky, grandparents went on their honeymoon to the Isle of Man on a DC-4. Classic age of aviation, really. I mean, I think I've said this before. I mean, I enjoy aviation in its modern form like the rest of us. But if I had a time machine, I'd definitely like to take myself back in time. For me, the 70s. All those different types in play, including Concorde. Nobody was too bothered about noise emissions and all that malarkey. Not that it's unimportant, like, but... Apologies, you'll hear some rustling. Trying to keep as much water off as I can. That warmer weather from Concept's nowhere to be seen. Yeah, just looking at Mark's comments, I miss Concorde too, my friend. It almost seems strange, a bit like Man on the Moon, if you think about it. Man was put on the moon in the 60s with the technology that was around then, and I know they're planning to go back now, but the gap in between almost seems inexplicable, because you think about the gains in technology. Sorry folks, just lost you there. I think I did. Just talking about the replacement for Concorde, in case I was talking to myself when I was saying those words. So a company called Boom Technology is apparently developing a Concorde type plane, supersonic travel. (2029) I believe the first flight is scripted. Now it's not battery, Ken. Although, actually, I think we are due a battery check, so let's do it. Still good for a bit longer, mate. I daren't change anything while it's drizzling. Metro train passing in the background for those who are unfamiliar with that sound on this stream. Where I'm filming from is directly adjacent to the line that connects Newcastle to the airport. Yeah, sorry about that, John. We've had a couple of buffers on this stream. The upload speed was good when I checked it at the start. So whether this is an atmospheric condition thing, whether there's moisture getting where it shouldn't. Trouble is, of course, the mobile signals, they can be a little bit variable. That's the word I was wrestling for, variable. So yeah, Ken, a few glitches. Conditions are in some way contributing. Do you know what? I think that weather from Concept might be on the horizon. Took its time getting here, just saying. But by gum, am I pleased to see it. I've just about run out of kitchen towel. All the challenges of outside broadcast. So only 3 more likes for the 100. If there's 3 of you out there that have yet to hit the like button, but you like what you see, I appreciate we're a bit light on action at the minute, but you know, there's some great company in this chat, so give the like up for the chat room. So let's see what's happening with our outgoing Barcelona flight. Apologies folks for the gap in action. Got this high-vis action over here. What are they taking the sheet off? Suitcases. I've got a snack bar somewhere in my rucksack, but I'm blown if I can lay my hands on it. Hope everybody on the stream are keeping hydrated with tea, coffee and snacks. I'll see if I can locate mine in the next few minutes. So it looks definitely like the drizzle's abated. I think we've been through the worst of what today's going to do to us. So feel free to quote me on that. Thank you, Ken. Thanks for your support, mate, on the 100. And Mark's keeping himself busy with cups of tea at North Sky. So our Emirates triple is 45 minutes out, and we'll have some other action here in the meantime. We have a Lufthansa that will be going out, a Ryanair that will be going out. I know there's an Air France coming in. And that's just off the top of the head. 99 likes. We are on the cusp, people. And of course, if you like it and you're not yet subscribed, please do consider subscribing. So let's just track into the action. So I can see somebody heading over Sunderland, and that will probably be our next action. So that will be an Embraer ERJ 145 operated by Loganair, hot footing its way up from Southampton, about an hour or thereabouts. The good news is the mist at the back end of the airfield. Let me just zoom us out. I think when I get home I'm going to put all the kit out in front of the fire. As careful as I've been to try and keep things dry, it's a bit of an unequal battle. Choc ice for supper. Sounds just the job, Quickening Cat. That's a good point, Mark at North Sky. Where's Ken with his crispy bacon? I like to finish this show absolutely ravenously hungry. You see, Ken, I don't know. Of course, choc ices are a summer thing, but when I was in the shop at the hospital yesterday, and I'd gone to buy a crunchy bar, or a couple of the bits and pieces, I did loiter by the ice cream cabinet. There was 2 or 3 minutes where I was looking to buy a Magnum. Well, that's bonkers, you know, it's January, but... You know what they say, the heart wants what it wants. So somewhere in that gloom, our Loganair is going to pierce. A bit too crispy, Ken. Oh, I see what you mean. I've just looked at the emoji. And Les has just finished a roll-on square. Is that our fabled square sausage? Yeah, it's the same for us, Mark, at North Sky. We get a nice cream van round in all weathers. Yeah, there is something about magnums, isn't there? As I say, other lollipops are available. But yeah, I do like a magnum. So our Loganair is currently just off the coast, just about to turn in, for those of you who aren't following it on Flight Radar 24. So all is looking good there. It says 2 minutes, which I think could be about ish right. So in terms of arrivals, the 10:35 Air France Embraer 190 is running late, so that will be in at just past 10 to 11. British Airways, their incomer, which will be an A320, scheduled for 11:20, running early, 11:05. I think what we'll do today, folks, if there's consensus on that, with all our movements coming early, we'll close the stream a little bit earlier than advertised. You'll have other things to be doing on your Saturday, no doubt. And as veterans of the show will know, this week, and probably for some of next week, I'm still having to do hospital visits in the afternoon. So the minute the show finishes, it's a case of trying to get everything in a box and get away. Good morning, Martin Gallagher. Welcome to the stream. I'm Mark, your host from Plain Sailing Aviation, here at rapidly improving Newcastle International Airport. Been quite drizzly for chunks of the show, but the weather, hot footing it here from nearby Concept, is definitely on the up. Have we got to the 100? We've passed, sorry, I'm just looking here everywhere, and we have passed the 100. So many thanks to everybody who hit that button. Oh cripes, Les, you're back to work, are you, mate? Hope to see you tomorrow. Sounds to me, Quitling Cap, that July in New Zealand might be fairly similar to July in England. And the sharp-eyed amongst you will have spotted our Loganair in the top right-hand corner of the shot. Still very much in UFO mode at the minute. I think you're right, political bias. I think we've weathered the storm, such as it was. Yes, I'll echo Ken's comments, Les. Don't work too hard, mate. We need you in good fettle for tomorrow. See how close it'll let us get in. So I'm guessing this will make straight for gate 1. Which it does. The stairs are still in place on our Barcelona flight. Yes, UFO, cat. A UFO indeed. Yes, I like that tartan as well, Ken. It's a classy look. Looks like we are boarding the outgoing Frankfurt flight. I think there's a number of you in the chat who may well have been there, if I remember correctly, but I would definitely say from a plane spotting point of view, it is excellent locations, Frankfurt. We will be going there this year as well, to a spot of outside broadcast. Haven't quite worked out yet whether to consecutive it with Amsterdam or whether to just spread them out a little bit. So, still to come on the show, we have our Air France Embraer 190 hot-footing its way from Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport. It was due in at 10:35, now it seems to be 10:45, so running 10 minutes late. We've just seen the arrival of the Logan Air flight from Southampton, so that's home and hosed. British Airways are making time up as they go, so the 11:20 flight will be in at about 11:03 as it stands. So my money's closer to 11 o'clock on that one, I think. And the mighty Emirates 777 will not be far behind that. My screen is frozen. So yes, the Emirates, and I know it's been called in the chat a few times, so apologies for duplicating, but that is now looking at 11:05. So just have to turn to 11 o'clock, we should get a flurry of action. The next arrival after that will be near enough 12 o'clock, so I'll not be sticking around for that. And in terms of departure activity, our Lufthansa, which as you can see from your screen looks to pretty much be boarded, I think, is due off at 10 to, so 15 minutes ahead for that. The Air France will go at 11:20. So we'll be around for that. Although obviously that will depend whether the late arrival kibosh is a on-time departure. And that'll about conclude the action. So I think Air France will be the last plane of the day, unless our tiddlers with the Dickie Davis Air Squadron put a bit of a show on for us. So I figure today we'll be finished by probably about 20 past 11, so maybe it's 10 minutes early. What do folks think about the Condor stripy deck chair liveries? Just looking at Ken's comment. I've got to be honest, as you probably would have intuited by other things I say I like, I quite like the classic Condor, but the stripes are grown on me. Don't know if folks watch the Madeira airport spotting work of Pedro. He often picks up Condor stripy deck chair landings, and I'm always sitting there thinking I'd like to see a piece of that. Of course we don't get Condor at Newcastle, so hey ho. So Ken, yes, Air France and Bria hop out, 10 minutes out. It's all going to come to a perfect head. Yeah, I think Market North Sky, I think there is something fresh about it. And I think that's probably why I like it. Classic, I'm always orientated towards the classic, but sometimes if it's refreshing, you just got to enjoy it for what it is. Out of curiosity, if Quickening Cat is still in the chat, what's the scene like in New Zealand in terms of special liveries? When we spoke earlier in the show about the Air New Zealand All Blacks livery, but I'm just wondering whether you see a fair amount of internal traffic that's special liveried. Thank you, Martin. Just passing Hebburn is our Air France arrival, so that puts us in good shape. Checking you've not lost me. There was an OBS interruption briefly. Just see what we've got on the chat. Somebody could let me know in the chat you can still hear me. It makes a horrible chime when you lose connection. Are you scanned up, Political? That's the way to go. I was saying earlier in the chat, I think I'm going to start coming with my scanner. Initially I just didn't want too many moving parts, being quite new to this live stream caper. So Quickening Cat, no special liveries in New Zealand. The All Black livery is, yeah, it's a star show, yeah, definitely. Thank you, Mark at North Sky. Thank you, Ken. So while we've got a gap, Mark at North Sky, what's new with you? What have you got in the pipeline? Yeah, I think a scanner really does augment the plane spotting experience, no question. Before I got into filming and all the rest of it, that was binoculars and scanner was just what you did. I reckon they've just about finished zooming the bags on. Let's have a quick check out, see where our Air France hop is. She's on approach now, hurtling towards Cramlington, a short distance away. So Mark at North Sky has a video out tomorrow, footage shot at Manchester on Thursday. So fresh material. So wants to go to Edinburgh quite soon. It's gorgeous there, mate. So is that a premiere, Mark? Is that going out as a premiere? So I've got visual on our Air France incomer. So thanks for bearing with this gap in traffic, folks. We're back in UFO mode. Come on, Cat, give us your quick your UFO icon. Okay, folks, so Mark has a premiere on Sunday, 6:30 Sunday evening, Manchester Airport. Personally looking forward to it, so definitely one to consider. Thanks, Kat. I think with our tiddlers, getting my words back to front, and UFOs, we've definitely got some additional things to watch out for at Newcastle. I don't think the tiddlers are playing today, though. Funny, isn't it, that hierarchy of things? When we were streaming from Heathrow, the baby buses were our tiddlers. All a question of scale, as they say. So the quiz for the Air France Hop livery versus the classic Hop livery closes Sunday. I'm not sure what the current poll figures are, but if you've yet to exercise your vote, you'll find it in the community post. Been photo bombed by the trucks that are turning up now to service the 777. Sorry folks, I think I got dumped. Certainly seem to have some spotty signal today. And, believe it or not, we've got some tiddler action. which will just about work out for us when this plane goes out of view. There we go. So from the School of Dickie Davis, I bring you today's first tiddler. I've not got my notes to hand, so I'm just going to talk off the top of my head, but I don't know if folks have seen the recent post about the delivery of the final Boeing 747. It's a 747-8 freighter going to Atlas Air. I think Boeing are live streaming it on the 31st of January, I'm going to say. So I'll put the link to that in the next community post in case people are interested. An iconic moment in aviation. So, first of the day. I'm guessing he'll be back round in the next couple of minutes. Yeah, it's an interesting thing, Ken. We seem to be periodically pinched by glitches on the stream today. I mean, I'm not going to fiddle with anything in the closing stage, but I will do another speed test at the back end just to see if performance has dropped off since the setup. You're kind of stuck with what you're stuck with in that sense, so the only thing I would do when I set up is if I don't think I've got the speed, then I'd cancel the stream. No World of Sport banner, no Ken. I've got my mum quilting up a plain sailing aviation banner. Should be finished by 2024. Ah, we're pushing back. Excellent. Can't think that Barcelona flight will be far behind. Yeah, I think you're right, Ken. You almost daren't touch what works. So for anybody that's just joined us, just to give you continuity, this is Plain Sailing Aviation's live stream from Newcastle International Airport. I'm Mark, your host. We're in the back end of the show now. Official finish time is 11:30, but if the movements come through early enough, we'll probably be knocking off about 20 past 11. So thank you for joining us. Hope you're having a great Saturday morning. As I always say, make sure you've got a coffee or tea to hand. Show is better enjoyed with a hot beverage. Better yet, with some crispy bacon on the side. So next action from us will be Edinburgh tomorrow, 8 o'clock start, through till about 12:30, maybe it's 1 o'clock, depending on how tempting it is to stay on a bit longer. I don't want to steal anybody else's punchline. We're not the home of the one more plane, but like every aviation enthusiast, you always want to watch one more plane, don't you? It's like staying at the London Renaissance with a runway view. I don't know in the chat who's ever stayed facing the runway there, but I never draw the curtains. It's just one of those things where, you know, I just like to see the airport. I was looking at your comment, Ken. Yeah, I mean, other streamers might be more technically competent than me as well. That's probably what draws them into the temptation. I'm quite realistic about my expertise with live stream. A number of the streamers have been at this sort of thing for a few years now. I always think every setback's a learning opportunity. It's those little glitch issues that are sometimes harder to work through. It's a bit like the sound issue that we had on Thursday. I didn't want to fiddle with anything then, but when I was working on it Friday, got it all set up at home, found what the issue was fairly quickly. But you know what they say, if it's working, leave it working. I'm not sure to what extent dampness has played any factor here. I don't know. I'll be honest with you, Mark, at North Sky, I'd recommend it. Great views. When my son was younger, we used to go down there and have a weekend plane spotting, you know, after he got his exam results and stuff like that, you know, bit of a pat on the back kind of thing. But actually it was a reward for Dad as well, because as much as my boy likes that stuff, for me it's, you know, dream holiday really. I'm not sure which hotel it is Big Jet TV stream from now. Is it the Courtyard? I'm not sure. Certainly Jerry has himself some fantastic views off the top of that place. But in terms of what the rooms are like for airport bearing views, I don't know. Has anyone in the chat stayed at the Radisson at Manchester? I kind of imagine that would have some good views on offer. Alright, good to know, Mark, at North Sky. As much as I like the Renaissance, it's always nice to try out different views. So our 777 is just crossing the coast. So according to flight radar is going to be with us. Oh, I'm just chatting out of my hat. I'm trying to do two things at once badly. That's the triple that's going to Glasgow. You see, I've worked on the setup so I can see more things from one fixed position, and I've just made a total hash of putting it to work. Hey ho. Yep, away we go, no ceremony there. Up nice and early. Sorry folks, I've rather lost it now. HDMI cable snagged on my easel. Stupidly. So we'll rest on our 737 bound for Dublin. While we get a quick check on what's happening out there. So, British Airways A320 from London Heathrow, having departed best part of an hour ago, is crossing the coast at South Shields and should be with us in 3 minutes. So, time enough to put the kettle on. Or if the kettle has just boiled, those 3 minutes will be enough for your tea to mash in the pot for that perfect cuppa. I think I read that somewhere, 3 minutes for a tea. Let's have a look at the chat. Ah, so Jerry was streaming when you were at the Courtyard, Mark. Cool. And you've stayed at the Radisson in 2009. The view was pretty good. Good to know. Thank you, Ken Alloway. Our triple is 8 minutes out. So not the one that I mistakenly attributed to us that is off to Glasgow. Have to agree, Quitling Cat, the CRJ 900 is one elegant aircraft. And as Ken says, he got off the ground nice and early. Right, let's just pan around a little bit. As you can see, not much else parked up at the minute. Far side of the terminal, we have an Air France that's due out at 11:20. Trucks are all here, ready to rock and roll for the 777. Still look okay on power, so I think I might be able to avoid a battery change. Back to the old adage of not fiddling with more things than you need to. As you can see, not an especially windy day. Our control tower, best view in the house. I have to be honest, I'm really surprised they've not got the bird patrol out. Those birds I had on camera earlier, you'd almost think it was somebody's flock of racing pigeons. Sorry folks, I was just trying to pick them up, but uncooperatively they've just zipped off. So we'll stay focused on what we're here for. I know we like a few tiddlers, but I think small birds were probably stretching the criteria. Midnight in New Zealand. What time do you get up in the mornings, Kat? So as I scan the horizon for our British Airways A320, we are into the last half an hour of the show. So if you've liked what you've seen but not yet hit the like button, please give us the boost of your like. We all like to be liked, as they say. And if you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you with us. If you are already subscribed, we love having you with us. So stay with us. Next action from us will be Edinburgh International Airport tomorrow, 8 o'clock start. So definitely one for the tea and coffee. So Quitting Cat, you sleep until the afternoon. You see here, I'd be disturbed by an Amazon delivery if I could take a package for a neighbour or something. I think many years ago I used to do shifts, and you always found in the summer that from a night shift you'd be woken by people mowing the lawns. So the idea of getting to sleep into the afternoon here, wishful thinking I think for me. Thank you, Ken. Our Emirates is over Whitley Bay, lovely part of the world. Right, let's see if I can get us lined up with our British Airways incomer. And so we can. Bit easier now, those pesky showers have gone. Small bounce. Plenty of spray. We like that. Rather nasty helicopter popped out. Sorry folks, he got the better of me. It's scrappy. I just couldn't resist the impulsive desire to put the camera on it. Anyway, our A320 hasn't moved too far. He worked his way into gate 3. And here's our triple. Now last time this arrived, I did lose signal when it reached the far end of the runway. And I'll be interested to see if that happens again today. So here we go, several hours since it set out from Dubai. Gorgeous. Nice and gently down on the front. Thank you, Ken, much appreciated. Makes up for that fairly lame attempt to chase the helicopter. So this is our daily heavy. We do get Dreamliners through sporadically, but this is always the star of our show. Occasionally we get treated to a special livery. Hi Dar Abbas, if I've said your name correctly. Welcome to the stream, mate. Just seen your name in the chat. Great to have you with us. I'm with you, mate. I do love these 777s. All the sevens. Sorry folks, we hit that glitch again, which is interesting. I was saying just before the plane landed that I'd experienced the same thing on Thursday, so something to muse on for me, I think, in terms of signal stability. I can see something else hoving into view on the horizon, so I don't know, it's been called in the chat. I think it's one of our tiddlers. Back by popular demand. Still without its banner. Touch and go or coming into land. Been gone a fair while, hasn't he? So I wonder if he's into land. No, he's having none of that. He's back round for another lap. Quite right too. So we've made out okay really, with a bit of supplementary tiddler action, bit of helicopter action, and of course our core airport action. Sadly without Flybe, for reasons we've already discussed. So in terms of arrival action, that's us pretty much played out till the turn of the hour. Although I can see a helicopter starting to come into view, so we'll have a piece of that while we are waiting for our Air France departure. And of course, pretty sure this Ryanair to Barcelona. So Air France, it says 11:21, so not many more minutes. Perhaps here's our chopper. And away she goes. Now, so the Tiddler's not on flight radar. We could introduce a new feature to the show, Tiddler Watch. Mark at North Sky, thank you mate, it's been a pleasure having you with us, thanks for your support. Yes, look forward to seeing you from Edinburgh tomorrow, and look forward to joining your premiere Sunday night. It's in my diary mate. So we are literally in the final minutes of the show, just awaiting our Air France departure. Hopefully you've enjoyed what you've seen. It's been my pleasure to be able to broadcast for you today. Mix of weather conditions here. At least everything seems to have come through unscathed. So the question is, what is happening with Air France? Not pinging yet. So can't believe it, our tiddler's just come back round. Caught me unawares. Deary me, complacency at the back end of the stream. Looks like the fire truck's going back to base. With his escort vehicle. And our chopper's back out. Graceful up. I've got a horrible feeling, folks, this Air France departure is going to confound us. It did arrive late, to be fair, but I will have to be away at 11:30. tell you what we'll do while we're waiting. Just going to pop myself camera side. So, we're at the back end of the stream. Just wanted to say a heartfelt thanks for the support I've had today. We might get to catch the Air France departure, the Embraer 190, but I do have to finish bang on 9:30 sadly. We will be back on air tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock or slightly sooner, depending on the daylight situation from Edinburgh Airport, so we do hope as many of you as possible can join us. It's a really decent programme of movements tomorrow, so we should get a great show out of it, and the weather looks promising, or it did when I last looked, although as we've discovered here at Newcastle today, the forecast and what you get are not always the same thing. Hey ho. First for the show, a super chat. My profound thanks to Ken Alloway for being my first super chatter. Really genuinely touched by that, there's absolutely no question. As I am touched by you all taking the time to watch us in action. Here we go, a bit of police action in the background, you're probably not going to see it, police helicopter. There you go, I picked the wrong moment to go in front of camera. I do apologise. Just have a quick look at the chat, see if there's anything anybody wants to ask while you've got me in front of the camera. So I think what we'll do, let's have a quick butchers. The Air France departure's not pinging, so I will bring the show to a close. So thanks again, it's been great seeing you all. Hope to see as many of you as possible when we're out tomorrow. If you've not yet had a chance to hit the like button but you've enjoyed the show, please give us that support. It costs nothing but helps boost us with YouTube. And if you've not yet subscribed to us but you want to, or you think we're a channel you'd like to follow, please do so. We'd love to have you with us. We're small but growing, and I look forward to seeing you all next time out. Take care all.